Do you hear it? The sky did not fall.
British Columbia is now the first province in the country moving towards legislation that brings the rights of Indigenous peoples up to the standards of the United Nations. It's not often sessions at the BC legislature kick off like this, a traditional First Nations dance celebrating the province's plan to implement the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples.
It's a forward-looking and collaborative document, and it will help us end discrimination and create opportunities for Indigenous peoples, families, communities, and businesses.
Under the new legislation, the BC government would bring laws and policies in line with the UN Declaration created in 2007. It includes giving Indigenous peoples the right to compensation for land used without their consent and a seat at the table to discuss matters that affect First Nations communities.
The province of British Columbia is finally recognizing that we do indeed exist as peoples. Peoples with long and unique histories, peoples with deep connections to our territories.
While the framework gives Indigenous peoples a voice in government decisions, it does not grant them power to stop resource development projects like the controversial Trans Mountain pipeline expansion.
This legislation does not result in greater justice overnight. This is the hard work ahead of us.
The bill took over 1 year to draft and involved extensive consultation with First Nations leaders throughout BC. And although there's no timeline yet for when the work will get underway, all groups agree it's a step toward a brighter future.
This legislation is a critically important platform from which we can and will work together through a focused action plan to improve the lives of our citizens, foster a range of partnerships, and bring reconciliation to the forefront of our society.
In Vancouver, Travis Prasad, City News.